One of the nice surprises about this home is that the street facade gives nothing away. Once you enter, you are very much still in a Victorian terrace, and then the deeper you go into the plan, the more you realise there's something a bit more contemporary happening. The pace slows down. I think that's a wonderful surprise for anyone that enters the home. I'm Steve Coolers. I'm a director of MCK Architects. We are a boutique design firm that focuses primarily on single dwellings. The project is called Equanimity, which is a response to the calm outcome that has been created here. The home is knee-deep in the suburb of Paddington, which is effectively a cradle of Victorian architecture where the streets are as skinny as the homes. The brief called for opening up the plan. Paddington terraces are typically compartmentalised. It was about the creation of different zones in the home for the different members of the family, a space where they can all come together, their own individual spaces where they could retreat and find solitude. The client was looking for a generous flow through the home from start to finish, and I guess a space to showcase the antiquities that he had collected in his life, and in that respect it's a bit of a timeline of his life. This was our first collaboration with Romy Alwill and her team, and it's such a great outcome that we'll continue that relationship. We're already working on other projects. There's a nice sense of respect from both sides of the table. They see things very differently to how we see it, but there's middle ground, and it's the middle ground that makes the design thrive.
I'm Romy Alwill and I'm the director at Atelier Alwill. We were brought into the project to provide an interior direction and a mood for the project, advise on the palette and all the finishes, furniture, fixtures, lighting, and give that overlay to the architecture that added warmth and the softness and the livability of it.
The brief also emphasised the need for natural light, and again, a classic Paddington terrace fights to get the natural light in, and that was a good challenge to start with. Creating a glass roof over that new extended space to bring in natural light, and then our provision of a simple white wall has gifted the end product with basically a giant reflector, and it's south-facing light that's reflected in and creating a very generous amount of natural light in the primary living space. Upon entering the home, the user is faced with a gun barrel hallway, which is not uncommon in this type of dwelling. And it drags you through to the back space. That's one of the wonderful things about this home, I think. There's no dead ends. It's a very compact home, but it pulls you through at every turn. In many respects, the living room is a gallery, and it showcases the client's artworks. Our role there was simply to facilitate space required to show those artworks.
We wanted to create a sense of warmth straight away at the entry, but also softness in that sitting room and contrast. And that's done through gently curved sofas and moments of contrast between warm and cool tones. There is another feeling as you enter the second and third levels where it's very cosy and textured and warm with beautiful neutral tones. And sort of nougat-y colours with the carpets and the joinery and furnishings.
On the first floor, the light that is invited into the living space is then borrowed by an adjacent compact study, as well as an adjacent family bathroom.
Even though there's three parties, client, architect, designer, collaborating together, it feels like you've been one team. And as a result, the house does flow. It has a calm energy about it. And that energy and that feeling in the house is ultimately what makes it a great place to live in.
I'm most proud just being here. We set out to create a calm home in a busy suburb, and it's incredibly calm. And achieving an outcome like that and watching your client move in and create the layer of turning it into a home it's actually really rewarding. It's the thing that keeps bringing me back to architecture.